I'm going to share a secret with you. I used to be terrible at networking. As an introvert, I struggled with keeping in touch with and managing my network because, well, honestly, I just didn't know how. So I decided to create this intentional networking system, and let me tell you, it works like a charm. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your own intentional networking system that works even if you're an introvert. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Haley Dale and I am a content and sales funnel strategist helping you create more productive, purposeful, and yes, profitable content too. So if that sounds like what you're looking for, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below this video for new value-packed videos just like this one every single Monday. As an introvert, I have to confess that building and maintaining relationships and networking and starting new friendships is not the easiest for me. It doesn't come naturally, and I used to have so much shame around this fact, wishing that I could be just better at making new friends, just better at making contacts, because I would see all those extroverts being all extroverted and making all these biz friends, and I was like, I wish I could do that. I really wish that I could, because it doesn't come naturally to me. I'm like much more, you'll find me in heads down mode, writing or creating new things, and that by the time I come up, I'm like, oh my gosh, it has been so long since I reached out to so-and-so, and I'm really curious about how they are doing. So for me, I know this about myself. It takes work to make any relationship work. Like, it takes work. I know even with my husband, if we don't schedule regular date nights, it's not going to happen. Busy lives tend to take over. But the other thing I want to mention here is that I think that networking gets kind of a bad rap. And I think that introverts are great at networking because we tend to be, I know for myself, I find myself that I like to be really purposeful and really intentional with my networking. I think that introverts are really great at networking because, well, from what I've seen and for myself, I want to be really intentional with my networking. I want to make sure that I am connecting not with everyone and just collecting contacts and relationships, but I'm building my network in a really intentional way and making sure that I have the bandwidth to show up and support anyone that I have in that network. So I think that's better than that scattershot approach where it's just like, how many friends can I have? I think it's, at least for myself, I want to do it in a really intentional way. And that is how the system came to be. So based on my past struggles with networking, I have learned two things. Number one, if you don't schedule it, it's not going to happen. So going back to date night, if I don't schedule that with my husband, it is not going to happen. We both have really busy jobs and life takes over. And that's the same thing that I feel like with friendships and networking. If you don't schedule time for networking, if you don't schedule time to stay in touch with people, then you're just going to blink and it's like, oh my gosh, we're in the next quarter. 3 months has gone by, especially this year. The next thing is that networking is essential for us as online business owners. I have had so many more opportunities come my way because of introductions to potential clients, because of introductions to potential collaborators that have come from my network. And this isn't all about like, what do I get out of it? But it's also like, who can I show up and support? Who can I connect between my network? How can I put two people in touch where I think that there is going to be like some magic alchemy of like creative magic come out, because I think that they would be really, really good fits. Todd Herman from the 90-Day Year has this phrase that I really love, that your business grows at the speed of relationships. And he talks about how your business doesn't grow from like 0 to 1,000 overnight. A lot of those overnight success stories have actually been at it a long time if you were to really look at their history. But your business does grow in these small circles. So where can you start adding more circles to your business, but in a way as introverts that feels really intentional and really manageable, and making sure we have the bandwidth available for it. So I've really broken down this video into two phases. So phase one is like building your network, and then phase two is maintaining your network, because they're two different energies and two different tasks. So the first part is building our network, and I have a couple of different steps here that I want you to keep in mind. So step one, I want you to schedule some regular networking time. So designate a time for intentional networking. For me, I have an hour in the afternoon dedicated to staying in touch with business friends, as well as my social media time where I can show up and support my community. But I also, you may not need a full hour. It depends on where your priorities are, but definitely ask yourself, like, is this something that I want to do on a daily basis or a weekly basis or even a monthly business? Where does this fit into your business? What kind of bandwidth do you have to put this type of practice into your business? Step Step 2 is kind of your network admin. So the first step of setting up your intentional networking, I think, is like a place to kind of store those contacts. You need these cues and these reminders to get in touch with people, because it's not just going to happen naturally. So it may feel a little overkill and a little OCD to like get those into like a spreadsheet or get them into Trello. But I think it's a really important part of like staying in touch and staying up to date with people and what they're doing. So I have I have my own intentional networking spreadsheet template that I use below this video in case you want to check it out. What's great about it is that we can categorize your different contacts. We can put the frequency with which you want to stay in touch. And so the people who you want to stay in touch are going to rise to the top, and then it'll kind of rotate through so that you're making sure you're supporting all of those people you very carefully added into that network, so that you are supporting them as well as staying in touch, because so much changes. So in tab 1 of the spreadsheet, I have my networking categories. Beforehand, you need to decide how to organize your network. Ask yourself, like, how am I going to classify these contacts? Some of them past clients, business friends, business besties, people that you've been in a mastermind with, students, depending on how you're going to. And then for each of these categories, how frequently do you want to stay in touch? So I have a column here in my spreadsheet that basically says I want to touch base every 28 days for past clients and customers, whether that's just showing up and sending them some love on Instagram, checking in with them, seeing how things are going. It doesn't necessarily say how I'm going to get in touch, but I at least have that reminder in place. So I have that cue so that it doesn't go like years without me talking to them. Then step 3, I want you to go through and add your existing connections to the system. So you want to go through the process of actually pulling people into this network. This can also be something during your networking time for the admin. Make sure on a monthly basis you're going back and being like, who did I connect with this month that I really want to stay in touch with? So that can be a great way to build your network as well as get them into the system. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I only have a few people in here, you can definitely grow to this and add to this and build it over time. So I like to dedicate some time each month to adding new people in. Like, who did I connect with this month? Who is like impressing me like crazy, and that I really want to, have in my circle and have like continue to develop that relationship with them. And then part 2 of this is nurturing your network. So once you have it in there, how are you actually going to stay in touch? So I have a couple of different steps here. So step 1, I think you should choose one social platform to focus on for the month. So whether that's Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform you use regularly where your people are, choose one of those platforms. And this is also a way to like add more contacts too. So choose one of those platforms, and during your intentional networking time, go and talk to people there. Go and have conversations. I love this phrase, is like, I think introverts really, I know that like when I would go to like networking events, I would always like think that I had to be the most interesting person in the room. And I heard this phrase like, don't aim to be the most interesting, aim to be the most interested. And you can take that approach and use it on social media as well. So where can you be interested in what they're doing? Where can you go and start conversations over on their Instagram profile if that's where you're focused on? So, so for, say that I'm focused here, I just want to give you an example here. So if I was focusing on, say, Facebook groups, and that was where I wanted to focus on for the month and building relationships, I wanted that to be my water cooler, so to speak, as an online business owner, I would like put in like maybe like 3 to 4 groups that I want to like continually visit, and I would add them to a bookmark folder. So during my intentional networking time, I could like one click open up all those links and go through and comment and start conversations with those people during that intentional networking time. So I'm kind of streamlining and systemizing it. Then step 2, I go to my spreadsheet. So I go to my spreadsheet and I see who is at the top of my list, who is like, it's time for me to get in touch with them. Then I reach out, I check it, I like spy on them on social media. I go to their Instagram, I go to their website. What is new with them? What are they up to? And then I usually I share a piece of content of theirs, or I reshare them, or I like something, or I send a message and get in touch. But what can you do so that's the second step of this maintaining of the network. And then step 3, is there anyone new to add? Is there anyone new that you've been in touch with this week or this month that you want to add to that spreadsheet? So I do those 3 steps on a regular basis. So step 1, I choose one platform to focus on for the month, and I show up there daily, and I make some rules around it or constraints around it so that it doesn't take up all my day. The second thing is I go to the spreadsheet and I see who I need to be in touch with or who I want to check in with. And then step 3, I ask myself, is there anyone new to add? So I would love to invite you to download my intentional networking spreadsheet down below this video. So if you're ready to start building your network, definitely go and check that out and let me know in the comments if you have any questions at all about this. And if you want more videos just like this one, click on the next video on your screen and make sure to hit that subscribe button for new videos just like this one every single Monday.